All right, so the games we haven't talked about: Indianapolis versus Tennessee. Bovada has Indianapolis plus 2.5. I'm sorry, not 25. Indianapolis plus 2.5 versus Tennessee. Who you got?
Tennessee. I like them. I still do.
Yeah, I'm going to take Indianapolis to cover. I feel like this is going to be like a 1 or 2 point game, so I'll take the points here. Indianapolis' defense, they're going to give Derrick Henry, a hard time. But I do think Ryan Tannehill's a good enough quarterback to get it done. I do think he's playing better than Phillip Rivers. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting one. And Tennessee's defense is not playing well. They need to get better in a hurry.
Yeah, right.
We got Cincinnati plus 9 versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Roethlisberger should play, according to reports.
Okay, I'm actually going to take Cincinnati, not to win by any means, but I think they're going to cover those 9 points, man. I really do. Division game. I got to back up what I was talking about 20 minutes ago.
Coming off a bye week, Joe Burrow, man, this team puts up points. I was talking with David on the Fantasy Football Almanac podcast, and I agree with you, Brad. I'm going to take Cincinnati to cover. I think Pittsburgh easily wins. But
yes, right, easily wins, for sure.
They could be up. I was telling him, I said, they could be up by 15 points for 57 minutes. And Joe Burrow comes down, gets a cheap touchdown late, and covers the spread. And I think that's what's going to happen here. Pittsburgh wins comfortably, but Cincinnati's offense is too good to be getting 9 points, in my opinion. They put up too many points.
I agree. I think the line should be about 7.
Yeah, I would have the line at 7.5 to make Pittsburgh beat you by 8. Yes. And I think that's what it should be. So yeah, I like the value there for Cincy. Houston, according to Bovada, plus 3 versus the Cleveland Browns.
Houston.
I like the way Houston's playing football. We talked about their schedule to open up the season, how brutal it was. Well, their schedule is getting a little bit better. Plus, they have the fortune of playing Cleveland without Odell Beckham. Like, I like Cleveland, don't get me wrong, but I think Houston will score enough points, and they're getting points. And Cleveland is, to me, without Beckham, is still a little bit of an unknown entity. If they had Beckham, I would take Cleveland going away in this, but I don't. They don't.
With you.
Jacksonville, big line here. Bovada has it plus 14 versus the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is a huge line. It's funny because I do think the Packers are going to win by 14. But that's a lot of points. Yeah. It's a lot of points. I don't want to give off bad juju. I got to take Green Bay.
I'm exactly with you. I stay away from this game. It's too big of a line. And Jacksonville,
sure.
Similar to Cincinnati, Jacksonville scores a lot of points. If Jacksonville had Gardner Minshew in the lineup, I'd probably take them. They have a backup quarterback. I got to think that's good enough for Green Bay to cover. I had this right around a 14 to 17 point. I stay away. That's too many points for me, but I'll take Green Bay.
I hate those lines. Can't do those lines. I would tease them, but not straight up.
I do like this one, though. Philadelphia, Bovada has minus 3.5. Philadelphia minus 3.5 versus the New York Giants.
This is interesting. I like this game. Mm-hmm. The Giants are improving.
They are.
They are improving. You know what? I'm going to take the Giants because of that 0.5. Because you never know what you're going to get out of Carson Wentz. I'm sorry. And that Eagle team.
I'm going to take Philadelphia here because they get Dallas Goedert back. I think that's massively important for this team. Both defenses are playing well. I like the Giants defense a lot. But Philadelphia off the bye week, getting Dallas Goedert back, finally they have somebody over the middle that they can rely on. I'm going to take Philly to cover this spread, but it's an interesting one because if Philly loses this game, they go to 3-5-1, and then the Giants would go to, I believe, 3-6.
Yes, right.
This is actually kind of an awful game when you look at it, but it's massive for the NFC East because if the Eagles win, they go up 2.5 games or something like that on everybody else. So yeah, it's a big one. Tampa Bay, Bovada has minus 7 coming off that awful loss versus the Carolina Panthers.
Well, two disparaging opinions for myself. I like Bridgewater, man. Mm-hmm. And that's an odd last name, don't you think?
Bridgewater.
It's two things. One goes over the other.
Yeah.
It's a weird last name.
It's weird, I give that.
Aaron sheet mattress.
That's like
who came up with that last name?
I was doing speaking of weird last names, I was doing a mock draft. And there's a prospect whose last name is Leatherwood. Well, which one is it? Is it leather or is it wood? You tell me. Come on. Is it the bridge or the water?
You can't have both.
You can't have both. It's one or the other.
It's an odd deal. Whoever came up with that is, boy, that guy deserves a medal. So I like Teddy Bridgewater, and I feel like he's a winner and underrated. And I think they can compete with anyone. And I will say this, Tampa Bay was humiliated.
Yeah.
Humiliated.
Yeah.
So because of that, I am going to take them to cover.
Yeah, they were humiliated after the Chicago loss, Brad, when Brady, specifically Brady, when he lost track of the downs.
Yeah.
And they came out and they were on fire. Now, Carolina probably is going to be without Christian McCaffrey, the last I saw. I like Mike Davis. And I do like Teddy Bridgewater, and I love what Carolina is doing. They're so much better than I thought they would be offensively. Well, offensively, I thought they would be good, but defensively, they're a lot better than I thought they would be, and they're getting better. I'm going to take Tampa just because they got embarrassed. I believe in that.
Yeah, me too.
But Bridgewater, I like what they're building, man. Like Carolina next year, and I think long term, because Breeze and Brady are not going to play forever. Carolina is the next team in this division once those guys kind of go away, and they'll start really competing, I believe, next year. It'll be kind of a heavier NFC South, but that'll be a fun one to watch for me. Next game, we got the Washington football team plus 3.5 versus the Detroit Lions.
Washington plus 3.5 versus Detroit. Let's go with Detroit, baby.
Yeah, Detroit got housed. Detroit covers the spread every other week. Washington, they go to Alex Smith because Kyle Allen hurts himself. Alex Smith, they're not going to score a lot of points. He's going to put up like 17 points, maybe 20 points. Detroit's offense will do enough to get it done. They'll cover that spread, I think. Feel pretty good about that one. We got the Denver Broncos plus 4.5 versus the Las Vegas Raiders.
Las Vegas Raiders.
I'm going to take Las Vegas too, man. Derek Carr, man, he is. I've been criticizing him about his ability to throw deep. He has been throwing a little bit deeper. I watched that game against the Chargers. He's taking advantage of some stuff. Like the Raiders, their issue is all defensive now. Their offense is, even with the wide receiver issues that they have, they're putting up points. They just need a better defense. But Denver, Drew Lock for some reason just catches fire in the fourth quarter. Almost came back on Atlanta last week. 2 weeks ago, came back on the Chargers. Dude is a comeback specialist, but he's got to play better in the first half.
Yeah.
Let's see here. We got speaking of the Chargers, Los Angeles Chargers plus 2.5 versus Miami, according to Bovada.
What a great game.
Yeah, that is a fun one.
I like this game a lot.
Yeah.
And I like the quarterback for the Chargers. I'm going to take them, actually. I think Tua gets his first loss.
I'm going to take the Dolphins because of their defense. I think the Dolphins' defense is playing better than the Chargers' defense now, but I think it's going to be a higher scoring game. I think we're going to get something similar. Herbert's the man. I mean, I love him. And then Tua, we get a battle of rookie quarterbacks. It's quite interesting. I'll take Miami, although I do have concerns about the Miami running game. The last one we haven't covered, Brad, is the Minnesota Vikings, according to Bovada, minus 2.5 versus the Chicago Bears.
I'm going to take the Vikings because of Dalvin Cook. The guy's on fire.
I'm going to take
killing it.
Yeah, dude. I think that look, the Bears can't score. And Minnesota is getting better.
They're terrible.
They're terrible. Dalvin Cook
is getting better. Yeah. They got momentum. They're getting better, playing well.
Yep. So I agree. The Dalvin Cook factor does enough to get it done. I'll take Minnesota over Chicago Monday Night Football. To recap, anybody who's watching this segment that hasn't caught the other segments, Brad and I both took Baltimore minus 6.5 over New England. We actually agreed on all of our featured games this week, which is rare. Brad and I both took Seattle plus 1 because we always take Russell Wilson plus points. It doesn't matter. So we're taking Seattle. We're actually taking Russell Wilson plus 1 versus the Los Angeles Rams. We're taking Arizona minus 1.5 over the Buffalo Bills. That's my personal favorite game to watch this week. Not to bet, but to watch. I'm actually not going to bet that game because I think it can go either way. And then, there was San Francisco. We both took New Orleans minus 7 over the San Francisco 49ers, who are just so banged up we don't think they can compete with New Orleans' offense. So there you go. That's the show, Brad. Anything for the crowd before we go?
I got nothing to say to anybody.
Yeah, me neither. Go out, make some bets, get paid.